Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Hello, friends. Welcome to another day here in North Mississippi where we will have our Bank First Ranger Hour. Hope you're doing well. I spent the last few minutes of my, quote, preparation time, the last 10 or so minutes, a little downtime, if you will, watching the Open Championship, the big golf tournament going on in Northern Ireland as they play at Royal Portrush Golf Club there in Northern Ireland, watching them swing in the cooler temperatures and a little rain earlier today. So now I gotta work. Gotta get the big hour of work in now, and then move on into Girard coming up at 10. Tough life. I've got your weather forecast coming up here soon for North Mississippi. It's a little bit different than it is in Northern Ireland. Kind of why I brought that up a little bit. I don't need to tell you, warm, right? We'll get to that forecast. And then on today's program, our guests look like this. First one that we will talk to has already spent a couple of years at Northwest as a student and now moving on, Sabria Jackson. We'll talk about her. She was a summer orientation leader. She's put in 2 years of study at NWCC. We'll find out all about her. What's next? The typical way we do the interviews with students. And then when we're done, we'll discuss the commercial driver's license program. Again, Kelsey Baker will be on. She'll talk about the driving programs, all the campuses, specifics, what we need to know about that. If you are thinking about or you know someone that's thinking about a job in the driving industry, Northwest has all that set up for you and ready with great programs in North Mississippi. So we will get to that. And then before we're done, we'll finish up by giving you the date for the 2025 2+2 Scholarship Golf Tournament that has now been set for Olive Branch and Cherokee Valley. Give you details on that and remind you, we had a guest earlier, a couple of weeks, maybe ago, basketball coach John Redman, and an upcoming camp that will be before we do next week's show. So we'll kind of update you on a few different things, as always, and get you ready for all things Northwest Community College today. The text message line is 662-426-1093, 426-1093. You can message about anything, and if we need to get it on the program, we will. The Facebook world, on X, it's at GDARB65. And we always encourage you to go to supertalk.fm. If you're not driving around, you're going to be in an office, you can stream the program. You can use your Alexa device if you want, or you can go to supertalk.fm, find the radio station in North Mississippi, WTNM, by the way, and listen live, and there you go. And there's also other things you can do and read story-wise and whatnot. Today, however, we'll get a former, we can call her former now, student at Northwest, moving on into her education at Memphis next. And then we'll talk the commercial driver's license programs at NWCC. We'll get all of that info coming up with a little bit of some other stuff as well on today's show. Bank First powers the program on Thursday. We thank all the people, the good folks in all of our cities in and around with a Bank First location. And, of course, our friends at Northwest Community College. Campuses everywhere. We'll talk about them in a little while further with our next guest.
This hour is Everything Northwest, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College, and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
Oh, it's one of my fun times on these Ranger Hours, and that's a chance to catch up with a student, whether current or they've already put in their 2 years of service and education and doing things, and then have given back a little bit by maybe being an orientation leader and whatever they may have done throughout their time at NWCC. Today we're going to introduce you to Sabria Jackson. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. I appreciate your time today. We always like to get a little background info, if you don't mind, Sabria. Kind of tell us where you grew up and if it was in North Mississippi or wherever, and then how did you make your way to Northwest for your first stop for education?
Okay, so I am from Olive Branch. I was born in Alabama, but I moved to Olive Branch really young. I've been here my whole life. I went to all the Olive Branch schools. So being in DeSoto County, they really highlight Northwest all the time. They're always promoting Northwest. So growing up, I was like, I don't want to go to Northwest because my father as well went to Northwest. And everybody in the community really just went there. So I was like, I'm not doing it. And then I got to my senior year, and I was like, I went on the tour, and I was like, well, it's not that bad. And then I was looking at, like, scholarships and everything, and it was so affordable. And that was the main thing within my household about picking a school that's affordable and just accessible. So that's why I went with Northwest.
You and I had the conversation right before we got on the air. My daughter, a lot older than my little boys now with marriage number 2. She went to university. She picked the school she wanted to go to, right? She was comfortable at, not where mom and dad was involved way back when. You took your route and ended up, taking Northwest. It really is about the feel, and does it feel like home? And I assume that tour let you know that Northwest actually was the place that you needed to be for a couple of years.
Yes.
What was your major?
I majored in engineering at Northwest, but once I transferred to the University of Memphis, my major would be biomedical engineering.
Okay. Was there someone in the family that was in that area, or is that just something that's always interested you?
Actually, my older brother, he also did the engineering route. He started in civil engineering and moved over to aerospace engineering.
Wow. All right. So who had the higher GPA though, you or brother?
Oh my goodness. Probably me. He's a party guy. He likes to have fun, but he also studies and does his work. But I'm mostly in my books.
Yeah, I hear you. But now, that's one of the discussions that I've had a lot with students on these programs. You do have to study. You do have to do those things to get where you want to go and be a summer orientation leader. But you also have to balance it a little bit. It's okay to have a little fun, right? You got to figure out some time for you to kind of, defragment the mind, so to speak. Were you able to balance that time and schedule in a way that was positive for you?
Oh, of course. I was involved in so many organizations and activities on campus. So it really, and I also had enough time to go into the dorm and study. So it was a perfect balance at Northwest.
Sabria Jackson's on with us. What about classroom size and instructors? What kind of information can you give us on the engineering program that you went through?
Compared to maybe like my high school, the classroom sizes were probably about the same. It was very comfortable for me. When I had to get into those harder classes like calculus, the class sizes were smaller, but the general classes were about the same size as my high school. Sure.
Part of what you did too was, and we talk about this a lot, Phi Theta Kappa. How did that, when you finally got there and you did that, help in the cost of what you were doing at Northwest?
When I got invited into Phi Theta Kappa, it was just like a big accomplishment for me. It kind of showed that I was doing what I was doing correctly, and kind of showed that I was working hard, and I just had proof that I was actually doing what I was supposed to do here.
Absolutely. And there's been some students that have come on here, and when we talk about affordability of Northwest, there have been a couple of students that told me I made money to go to school. that with the financial aid and with Phi Theta Kappa and scholarship, that they actually, pocketed some cash, I guess maybe to have some fun with, while also getting a quality education at NWCC. What was your message? Like, I know you have helped out with summer orientation. You've done a lot of different things. If you were carrying a student on tour or their parents of a prospective student, what was your message? How did you promote Northwest?
The advice I would give to a student would be to get involved. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Just always have your eyes open, looking for the next opportunity, the next door to be open. Northwest is so full of many resources. So I just say take advantage of what is there.
Hopefully you're not, if you are giving a tour, or anyone's giving a tour today, 95, 96 degrees be a little warm to be out there,
right.
to be out there rolling around. But I guess you still got to do what you got to do. Let's follow up with what's next. University of Memphis, right?
Yes.
And how much longer do you have before you will be out in the world in, didn't you say biochemical engineering?
Biomedical.
Biomedical.
I only have 2 more years.
Okay.
At University of Memphis.
And have you already started to see, the future as of, can I stay in Mississippi? Is there something else out there? Obviously, you sound like somebody that's got your goals set and your mind located on a place you want to be in a couple of years.
Yes, I'm open to anything, but since I chose University of Memphis, I thought it was a good opportunity to get connected to the hospitals that are in Memphis. So probably staying in the area. Since I said I'm from Olive Branch, I'll probably try to stay around family and keep close.
Excellent. I really appreciate your time this morning and telling us about your experience and how it went for you at Northwest and what's next. I always enjoy the conversations. And Sabria, I really appreciate your time this morning.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Sabria Jackson, summer orientation leader. We find out she's from Olive Branch, attended Northwest for a couple of years, studied in the engineering department. We talk about a little bit of all. And, of course, I think there's a lot of importance that she said, affordability. We talked about the classroom size. We talked about a lot of different things and the importance that if you can get in that Phi Theta Kappa program, what it can mean to you in many, many, many ways. I didn't ask, but I'm going to guess, considering the way she was talking about her academics, that she had scholarship money and things that are going to help go and cover things at Memphis because of all the work she has done at Northwest. It's what that institution can do for you. Lots of different campuses and places and ways you can do things, whether it is in the engineering department of the academic world or like next. We're going to talk about the commercial driver's license programs. There are jobs galore that are out there and waiting on someone. Kelsey Baker is going to talk about that with us next. All of the ways that you can get involved in that. Different campuses, different programs. We'll see if we can help you further in our discussion of Northwest Community College. It is a Thursday, July 17 edition of the program.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on SuperTalk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
Please do. And we will have that program up and rolling for you. Anywhere you listen to those podcasts later today, as long as I send the show to the right people. and they get it up in the afternoon. In case you missed our interview with Sabria Jackson, the student who obviously did some great things in her time at NWCC, now on to the University of Memphis. Kudos to you, young lady, and good luck in the future. Now we'll bring back a guest, Kelsey Baker, on to talk with us about commercial driver's license programs. Kelsey, welcome back.
Hey, how are you doing this morning?
I think we were talking. It's been a little bit, though, hadn't it?
Yes, it has. I think it's been about 2 years since I've been on the radio.
Well, welcome back. And if you don't mind, let's reintroduce you a little bit. How long have you been at NWCC and involved in these programs?
So, in my previous role, about 2.5 years as an enrollment specialist, and now that I'm back as a career technical education counselor. And so my 1-year anniversary will come up in the beginning of October. So it's been super exciting, exploring the different opportunities that Northwest has to offer to our communities and our students.
I mentioned before, I called you and got you on the air, that there are, I would imagine, I know there are, plenty of employment opportunities for people if they can get that CDL license, isn't there?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Again, Northwest, we offer over 20-plus career technical education programs, and one that we will speak briefly about today is commercial truck driving. We offer commercial truck driving at 2 of our locations, the Panola Concourse in Batesville, Mississippi, and at the DeSoto Center at our Olive Branch site.
And each and every time you get a cohort in there, how many students can you guys take in one of these classes?
So the awesome thing about Northwest, we try to ensure that we keep that student-to-teacher ratio kind of small so they're in intimate settings and make the hands-on experience even greater because they get to learn more, unlike the other programs that we have. So in both cohorts, we have 8 students in each commercial truck driving program. Again, I think Northwest does a great job with making sure that we keep a smaller classroom size, again, so teachers can be intentional with our students when we're teaching them the different skills, preparing them for the workforce. Right.
All right, so when they get into the program, how long does it take to complete? And, is it a typical, and it's not like when Sabria, who was a student who took engineering classes, right? And she went,
the academic route, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it 5 days a week? What are the hours like?
Yeah, so most of our CTE programs, we're preparing for the workforce, so it is 5 days a week. They meet Monday through Friday, typically between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and they do get a break. And with the commercial truck driving program, it is 1 semester, and so that is equivalent to 16 weeks, and it still includes all of the institution holidays and breaks.
I know that there are, other places, and really Northwest is competing for those drivers, aren't there?
Yes. Yes. But what makes us so great, and I think that stands out, like you and I talked before, at Northwest, even though our curriculum may be 16-week compared to other programs or companies that's shorter, people are able to utilize their financial aid to cover the cost of the program. Mm-hmm. Most programs you have to come out of pocket or try to figure out some type of funding. But at Northwest, financial aid will cover the cost of the program, and we also have additional funding through other programs that's connected with Northwest for Mississippi residents.
I know in previous discussions along the way, and with others that are over there and involved and spoken with me about this, there's a simulator, correct? I mean, they get to work not only in the truck itself, but there's a simulator to do some things and to work with for that certificate.
Yes, and it's pretty cool. I actually got a chance to do a little test driving myself. I don't think I would ever be able to drive the real truck, but it's pretty great. On that simulator, the instructor can change to different settings, whether they are driving through a winter storm or driving through, a desert, whatever that would be beneficial to teach our students on how to drive. I think it's pretty cool. The simulator is pretty cool.
What are the requirements to get into the program?
Yes. So with commercial truck driving, of course, you'll have to apply to the college, and then you will apply to the program itself. You must be 18 years or older, and we have a few other documents that you'll have to submit. We have a memorandum of understanding, and that's for the institution and the student to make sure that you are understanding our policies and procedures. Then you'll submit a copy of your driver's license, you'll submit a copy of your motor vehicle record, and then a DOT physical and a DOT drug screen. One other thing that we also make sure our students are aware of, that they must receive their Class A CDL permit on their own before they start the program.
Excellent. All right. So that's a lot of information for those of you out there to know, and important, right? That you just can't walk in and then boom, here you are. There are some things, and it makes a lot of sense with all of those that you're doing to try and get, the best men and women that you can, not only in the program, but out on the roadways themselves.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. And again, all of this information that you and I are talking about can be found on the Northwest webpage under our career technical education programs.
Excellent. Any other programs we need to speak on in our discussion today?
Well, I am super excited to talk about one of our brand new programs that will start this fall, Commercial Electrical Technology. The program is full, which is even more ecstatic because
Wow.
I just knew, oh my gosh, how am I going to recruit for this? But it was no problem at all. We have the electrical technology pathway that prepares individuals to install, operate, and maintain repair electrical systems. It's a one-year program, and it will be located at our DeSoto Campus and the Ranger Center. And it is, again, starts in the fall only, and I'm excited. I mean, Northwest is always innovating and creating new programs and resources for our community, and so I'm excited to see where this program takes us in the future.
You made a point there, like you get a new program, you as a recruiter and trying to do things, you have to, you think, come up with a creative way, or maybe it's going to take a little more work, and boom, not so. You probably had, and now, ready for the next semester, right? I mean, you're already getting ready to plug that in. And whatever the program might be, are there deadlines or things that we need to know?
Yes, so for all of our career technical education programs, the application will open October 1st.
Okay.
That is very important for people to know, because you can apply to Northwest at any moment. We have open enrollment. But for those CTE programs, the applications open October 1st, and they remain open. So October 1st is a very important date for CTE programs.
Excellent. So we've talked a lot about Batesville, a lot about Olive Branch, but there's so many different things for you. As she mentioned, northwestms.edu. I'm going to send you there, but you can check out all the things. I'm on that website and was following along as she was giving us all the qualifications and things and what we needed to bring to get ready for the program. Anything else before I let you go?
I think that's about it. Feel free to always stop by and see any of our career tech counselors. We have Ms. Marla Kennedy at the Senatobia campus, and then myself, Ms. Kelsey Baker, at the DeSoto campus. You can call us, you can email us, or you can visit. We take walk-ins.
Sounds great. Kelsey, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Kelsey Baker back with us and talking about the CDL programs and different things that are going on. And I know within the lineman program, they're driving and getting a license as well for the trucks that you see, whatever your co-op might be. If you're at North Central or Northeast or TVEPA, or if they end up at Entergy or whatever, City Electric of whatever place in North Mississippi. So very important stuff going on. Brand new course that opened up and immediately filled up. And all that information and more, again, is at the academic website, northwestms.edu. This course in particular that we started with was the commercial truck driving program. And it's offered at Olive Branch. It's offered in Batesville. 16 weeks, that's your semester. 5 days a week. You get a career certificate. There's fall and spring enrollments. And she mentioned October as a day for most of those. And then the how do I get the commercial truck driving program? You have to complete your admissions. You have to do all of the specifics that she mentioned with driver's license, motor vehicle record, the physical, the drug screen, etc. And all of that information can be found under the commercial driving portion of when you go to northwestms.edu, you go to programs, you can find it, and then there you are. And you get all that information that we just talked about, other programs as well, what the course curriculums may be, cost of the program. But remember, you complete a FAFSA, you do the FAFSA, that's FAFSA, you do your financial aid forms, see if you're eligible. Doesn't matter if you think you're eligible or not. And that, again, is one of the big things for this. You may have to go and you're out of pocket with any of these other programs around North Mississippi and abroad. Here, opportunity that you can get financial aid and get things paid for while you do this program for 16 weeks. And then off you go with a job waiting on you. Good stuff from Kelsey, and we thank her for being on the program. All right, so information I need to get to you as we close down another Thursday program, and that is how you can help Northwest in its 2+2 scholarship programs. This program, the scholarship, and this golf tournament, very big for students, prospective students, and the help with the cost of tuition or other things that they may need. This particular event has raised over $731,000 during its time. The one for 2025, September 16. So I know that I have a lot of golfers, a lot of Northwest Community College supporters that are golfers and attend this event. Now you flip to your calendar. September 16 is booked for the 2+2 Scholarship Golf Tournament in Olive Branch there at Cherokee Valley Golf Club. 21st year for this. 21st year, and again, it is up to date, raised over $731,000. Sponsorship opportunities are out there. If you want to help out, if your business would like to, be any kind of level of sponsor, or if you want to sponsor one of the holes out there on the golf course, you contact the Northwest Foundation. I know Miss Patty Gordon and crew will be glad to help you. And then you need to get your teams registered. So you need to get that done as well. So September 16 for that event. And again, you can not only go enjoy some golf on that September 16, but you can help out with a lot of different things for students, right? I mean, you can have some fun, and it's going to help out some that might not get that education without that possible financial aid situation. So a lot of things still going on, right? I know we're in the summer months, and the campuses may not be quite as busy or moving, but there is a lot of things still going on all of the Northwest campuses. And Coach John Redman, the first-year men's basketball coach, he'll take to the court with the team, as he mentioned, with a brand-new roster intact coming up in the fall. And he has a couple of camps going on, and the first one will be next week before we get back and do a program. And this is for elementary and middle school-aged boys, a 3-day camp, 9 to 12, starting Tuesday and going through Thursday of next week. So Tuesday, July 22 to Thursday, the 24th. Obviously at Howard Coliseum. The camp is open to children in grades 2 through 8, and registration costs are $100 per participant. And then after that, he will do an elite camp. And so if you're interested in looking at the basketball camps, the specific dates, and the way that you can get in touch, it's through the email of the assistant coach, Coach McIntyre. And you can get your youngster in there. Again, 2nd to 8th graders, starting Tuesday, going through Thursday, 9 to noon. A good 3 hours for the elementary and middle schools students to kind of work out with Coach Redman, Coach McIntyre, I believe he mentioned that when he was on with us, there will be some of the players on this new roster that will be there and help out as well. So some great instruction for your soon-to-be basketball player in your family, and then the elite camp, which will be the 9th through 12th graders coming up after that. And all the information is at nwccrangers.com. Have you gotten your tickets to things at the Heindel Center? I got to remind you about that before we're done, because the fall season, as we had Blake Bostic on a little while ago, obviously has been announced, and it all begins on August 22nd with Lance Burton, Master Magician, and friends. And then, of course, there's the Spinners, there's Crowder, there's John Michael Montgomery with his opening act. His son will actually be there, Walker Montgomery, up-and-coming country music artist. The a cappella group Home Free will make their way through North Mississippi on October 17. And I just saw things announced, and then I think an email as well, about some movies that are coming up. One on October the 29th, which is Wicked, and then Elf in the Christmas Time for $5. I mean, come on. Get that opportunity to go in there and take in one of those with the family. Ricky Skaggs and the Kentucky Thunder in November. Postmodern Jukebox in December, along with Elf on the 14th. And there you go. And a great fall season. You can get season tickets. You can, if you want to buy some tickets as a present, a gift card to let the person get what they want. However you want to go about doing it, with season packages to line yourself up with the acts that you seem to want to go visit, you can do that. HeindelCenter.org. HeindelCenter.org. That'll kind of finish up today's version of the Ranger Hour. As always, we thank Bank First, and we thank our people that talked with us today. Sabria Jackson, who finished her 2 years in the engineering department, now moving up to the University of Memphis to continue and finish up her education. Started at Olive Branch, told us how she had family members go there, didn't think she was going to, found that it was her place. And that happens a lot. If you know someone, get them to take the tour. Financially, can't beat it. Northwest Community College former student Sabria Jackson started us off, and then Kelsey Baker from the DeSoto Campus talking with us about CDL programs and other programs that they're excited about to have on the Northwest campuses. And again, northwestms.edu to get all that information. Don't forget, if you missed any of this program, it will be in podcast form this afternoon. Anywhere you go listen to a podcast should be there. Just look for the Bank First Ranger Hour, okay? Enjoy your Thursday. Thanks for being with us today, and we'll talk tomorrow. Middays with Gerard is next. Gary and Arby, so long.